Do you miss the sidelines at all, though? Just a little bit?
Uh, I miss the games and I miss the players. If that makes sense. Um, and I've been able to watch a lot of games on TV this year. So
Awesome.
this so this interview is very appropriate.
Awesome. All right. So let's get started with just give us your overall reaction to last night's game. All the hype around Indiana, perfect season, Mendoza. So what are your two cents on that?
First of all, great game, loved it, and there was just a lot of really good stories in the game about just the combination of Miami and then Mendoza and his family being from Miami, but Miami University, I should say, and it was just a lot of great stories. Really good game. I thought it was really well played by both teams. Very competitive, fun to watch, and I think we have the true national championship won the or national champion won the game.
So with all that hype and everything surrounding the NFL draft, I mean, every projection boards are pretty much have Mendoza wearing a Raiders jersey come next fall. What are your thoughts about him and you know and all that excitement around the NFL draft?
Well, first of all, I hope that the hype and all that is indicative that they're going to take him because I really, really like him. I think he's a really good player, and I think that's obvious. I think he's a great person too. I just everything you know about him, you hear about him, you see him interact, you see him around his family, you see him around his teammates. He's a team guy. He is all those intangible things you love about him, and then the production. I mean, he's an accurate passer. He makes good decisions. He has mobility. He had a great run on the quarterback draw to score what ended up really being the difference making touchdown, and made a great effort. Very like I used to when I coached receivers. I wanted receivers. One of our goals was to make superhuman catches, and that was a superhuman run. Um, so I really like him. I think he's a good. I've watched him. I know I'm probably repeating this, but I've watched him make decisions. He's a really good decision maker.
When you visually see him in the Raiders organization, is there some pros and cons that you feel he'll have to kind of, adjust to?
Well, I think the first thing is going to be, who the coach is. I don't think that's been decided yet. I don't think, you never know. The NFL, there's stuff going on all the time, and you never know, exactly how fast it's going to go. But anyway, I think that's a huge thing. Who is coach is going to be? Who is the guy that's going to coach the quarterbacks and be the offensive coordinator? Whether that's going to be a head coach that does that. All of that is going to be important. But I think he'll be great for Las Vegas. I think he'll be great for the Raiders organization. I am very excited, and I think it'd be a great thing for. I love our city, and I think it would be a great thing for our city if the Raiders drafted him. And you can tell how I say we. I've become a we with the Raiders, even though I coached in the NFL for this at the time the San Diego Chargers. Uh, I am a we. Like the Raiders are my team.
Well, they're growing on you, huh?
They are absolutely.
Um, what does it take to be an NFL quarterback in this day and age?
Well, I think um, first of all, I think and you have to have a good supporting cast. I think you have to have people that are gonna help you develop as a player. I think it's very difficult to put the whole thing on the quarterback. I think the fact um, that we have Ashton Janti, I think we have the potential to be a team that can run the football as we improve up front in the offensive line. Um, and I think there's a huge thing to the supporting cast, the support, and then not putting the whole thing on his shoulders. And I think there's also some wisdom to, uh, it'll be difficult if he's thrown to the fire right away, which it kind of appears he will be. Um, and people have to be patient with him too. So.
Now, obviously, the college game is going to be really different than the pro game. What are some things that, he's going to have to kind of learn like immediately, should he get his name called number one?
Well, I think he's going to have to, obviously, he's been in a different system. He's going to have to learn the system inside out. He's going to have to learn all of his uh, like progressions and decision making stuff that he needs to know. He's going to need to bond with his teammates. He's going to need to bond with the receivers. He's going to need to find a guy that he trusts that he can, at least one, maybe more than that he trusts that he can throw to. Um, so I think those are some things that will be all new for him. The good news for him is he's already been through a transition in systems because he was at Cal and was the quarterback at Cal and then transitioned to Indiana, and obviously did a very good job of transitioning systems. And that's one thing that you've got to be able to do uh, quickly in the NFL. I think he's appears to be a very responsible, organized type guy that'll be able to um, take in all that information and apply it the way it needs to be applied.
Now, kind of going back, we were talking about it's still unknown who the coach is going to be. Um, Out of the names that have been circulating, the names that are still available, and knowing his skill set, is there someone that makes more sense? I know there's people that say, "Oh, bring the Indiana coach over and whatnot," but is there someone that you think would be the best fit for him?
Here's what I think. I think I could say uh, names till I'm blue in the face to match my shirt. Um, but uh, I it's going to be whatever Tom Brady and Spytech and the organization say is the best guy for the job. And the key to me is going to be if that guy is an offensive coordinator type head coach, that the relationship that they build from a coaching standpoint. If he's not, then that hire, who he would hire as his offensive coordinator is going to be very important.
Couple more things before we wrap it up. Do you feel that with Mendoza's hype that, he should go drafting number one, that this is the way the Raiders turn the corner and become basically relevant again with him at the
I would
helm?
say that is the next step for them. I think one of the things that people have to understand is when you build a football team, football program. It's not like basketball where one guy makes the difference. I think it's going to be a combination of things. And I think, the hiring of Spytech was a great hire. And I think this would be another step in the direction of the Raiders competing to win the AFC West and eventually competing to go back to the Super Bowl. I do think it's a step. I don't think it's everything.
Okay. All right, so let's switch gears from the Raiders in the pro sense, and let's talk about a year from now. We will be hosting the College Football Playoff Championship game. Your thoughts on the game coming to Vegas, it being hosted at Allegiant, and just everything surrounding that game.
Well, first of all, I think it's as a career football coach, mostly in college, obviously at UNLV. Um, but then, I did have the opportunity to spend 3 years in the NFL. I am just excited that we have the college football national championship coming to Las Vegas. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing for our city. And I think we are a great site for it in every way. And I'm kind of excited because I'm the Southern Nevada director of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and we are going to want to have most likely an FCA breakfast that goes along with that because that's kind of a tradition. I took part in a FCA Rose Bowl breakfast many moons ago when I was a player at USC. So I'm very excited, and I think Las Vegas is a great location for the national championship.
And then we'll wrap up with this. The college game has changed so much. It's almost like a mini NFL organization now with the way players are coming and going and the NIL deals and stuff. Just kind of talk to us about, the way the game is going right now, with constant players going to the transfer portal, and players going to powerhouse programs and everything.
Well, the first thing I'll say is that what we have right now is the reality of what we have. So I'm not going to sit here and try to criticize it or say negative things about it. It's what we have, and I do think it needs to be improved. I think there needs to be, what, for lack of a better term, a salary cap where there is equity within college football, that it's not whoever can raise the most NIL money is going to get the best players. I think obviously Indiana evaluated well because they have a lot of guys that were not 4 and 5 star recruits that are, a big part of their team. So I think the other thing, I think there needs to be some controls on transferring, and I don't know what that is. I don't have the answer right now, but I think there needs to be some controls on that. I think it's a little bit too wild, wild west right now, and I think it needs to be uh, controlled a little bit to make it more competitive for all the teams.
And real quick, as you were saying that, can I just get your quick thoughts on the direction UNLV is going? Um, Especially their quarterback that led them to the bowl game, is at Nebraska now. So what are your thoughts on how they're going?
Well, the first thing is I'm a big Dan Mullen fan. Dan and I worked together at Utah under Urban Meyer. I was the offensive coordinator. He was the quarterback coach. Obviously, we had a pretty good player with Alex Smith. He made us good coaches. But obviously, Dan has done a great job, had a great career, coached a lot of really good players, and he's a really good evaluator. Dan has done a great job in his first year, and I have no questions that he is going to end up getting a quarterback that is comparable to the one that he just had. Who is, I really like Calandria. He's a really good player, but I love the direction that UNLV has gone. I love the fact that they're playing in a Legion. I think that's awesome. I love that, I got to go over and I was there for Dan's press conference at when he was introduced as the coach, and I got to see the facilities. They're very competitive with uh, everybody else in college football. So I really think UNLV is going in a great direction, and it's fun to be a part of it because I still have a lot of players that I coached uh, who I'm very close to that settled in Las Vegas, and I love going to the games and seeing them around town. So I'm very excited about the direction it's going.
Perfect. Coach, I think that wraps it up for me.
Okay,
Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if it's okay, I'll just keep your number handy for anything else that pops up.
sounds good.